center. You can hear us better, but we are here.
Hospital. Today. And this is all strictly plant-based, basically, that we're going to present. So, right, avocados and almond milk. So we will talk about those further and what ripe banana means. Okay.
And I forgot to mention.
So I use my safety glove, especially when we're using the mandolin for zucchini. And a lot of people out there that has mandolins just with their hands. So I'm gonna do it both ways. But if you decide that you have better control with your hands, that means that you have almond pate. What is an almond pate? So we're gonna take our almonds. You need to be able to have that base, that clean base that you can actually add your other. This almond, the almond pate is adjusted to your flavor, and we will talk about it. We go over. So, and they're already soaked. And time to take them out, and that goes in top of your blender, and it becomes a Robocoupe. So a lot of the blenders, especially in the old days, it came in with different attachment that people just throw them in the covers and just get the blender cup. So this could be a part of an attachment, but since I like toys, and so then I bought a small Robocoupe. So what we're going to do is, instead of chopping the herbs separately, so we're going to add it to a Robocoupe first and then chop all the herbs all together. So part of that is the sage. Sage gives it a nice contrast flavor, but you have to be careful not to overpower. Okay, just leave, that's the way it looks. Okay, so let's do 3 or 4, correct? There you go. Basil, it's my favorite. And all these herbs are optional, so you are welcome to use oregano, you're welcome to use thyme, especially if you have fresh thyme, it's really, really delicious. Stay away a little from rosemary unless you are going to bake it. I'm going to show a dish. I bought marinara sauce because this recipe you can eat it raw or you can eat it cooked. And I'm going to show you what cooked kind recipe looks like. So we're going to throw the basil. And Megan, let's talk about the almonds.
Okay.
Sorry.
Almonds, great source of monounsaturated fats, so very heart healthy. But with anything you want everything in servings, so enough to kind of fit in the palm of your hand. So a little bit of nuts is fine, but we don't want to eat too many.
Correct.
Eat too many calories, too much. We don't want to overdo it.
Correct. And these days, people, why they say eat so little? Why? Are they that powerful?
They just are very calorically dense, as we'd say, so lots of calories that are there. So just, again, most of us need to limit our calories. So we'll overdo those. And the nice thing with almonds is when we're talking about blood sugars, they don't raise your blood or do a good thing.
It's just the best snack, correct? So you go home before a meal, have a snack, and you're good to go. Or at night, after a meal, before going to bed, that would be a good snack.
Right. There's a little protein in there too, so a good combo of the heart-healthy fat and some protein.
That's great. Okay, so I have my herbs on the Robocoupe. I'm going to add my garlic, so a couple cloves of garlic. Let's use the big one. Actually, let's add one more, correct? And then just a little extra garlic, a little bit of salt.
And that is optional.
It's optional how much you want to add to it. So I just want to. So now that's being chopped. I'm going to add my Spanish olives, or 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons.
About 9. Okay. Then pine nuts, right? So here we go with a little bit more nuts. 3/4 of a cup. All right, so 1, 2, 4. One more. There we go.
Chef, you would recommend fresh herbs for this? correct?
Absolutely, fresh herbs. We're dealing, on the recipe says you can add water, and the reason to add water is to make it more pliable, but I'm going to show you that if you're going to bake it, stay away from the water because you want it more dense. This way when it bakes, it doesn't run out. If you're going to eat it as is, then you just taste it and add the water at intervals. Don't jump and add all the, how much we said water it is, half a cup of water all at once. Just go slowly until you reach that nice consistency. Because the almonds will soak at a different rate. So as you soak them, the longer you leave them soaking, the more water they will absorb. So then the less water you might need to add to the recipe. So that's one of the kind of conversational topics between chefs and dietitians because they want everything to be 100% perfect, black and white. And I live in the gray world, which is food, correct? And we have to adjust as we are cooking the different water ratios, butter ratio, olive oil ratios. So now I'm going to add my almonds. Soaked almonds. And this is the best part. Here, you can actually make it as coarse as you like or as ground lemon juice. So I'm going to add that. And just pulsating, and now everything stays on the top. So now I'm going to add my lemon juice and my olive oil. So look what I found, guys, you know. Especially the guys watching the program, we like our toys. So here we go. We are going to use a little handy dandy squeezer. And no seeds comes out, only the juice.
And where did you buy that, Chef?
And yeah, you can find it online. And some of you can find this one online too, which is you cut it in half and you squeeze it, but you have the tendency of adding seeds, which we don't want that, correct? So with this one, I use fresh lemon juice, and I squeeze it, and no seed comes out. Okay. With olive oil. So olive oil will be 2 tablespoons, correct? So here we go. 1.
And the nutrition information that's actually on page 1, it includes everything, including these optional ingredients.
And I haven't added water yet, so now it's a plain trick, right? So play, we add, we grind. So now we're going to add a little bit of water. There we go. As you can tell, it's forming now to become the pate type density. So it's dense as a pate. I don't know if you know what the definition of pate means. It's a French term for meat that being ground to a paste, or just less to a paste, and then shaped, refrigerated, and then you can slice it. Most places we use aspic, which is gelatin, and then they hold it together, and used to be a good item to add to our charcuterie board. And then you have your toasted baguette, and so this recipe has a very unique name. I love it. Almond Pate. Trust me. Let me show you what it looks like. So that's the consistency you want to look for. Can you see from up here? Let us know. First time using the mirror, so you can see my hands, what's happening actually on the table. And here you have the paste or the almond pate, okay, in a coarse form. You can make it more smoother, but I like to have a little bite, correct?
Right.
So the food, when it becomes too mushy, it's kind of a puree, correct? Then it loses, you want a little bit of the crunch, right? All right, so this aside. Now, I'm going to leave this here. Let's talk about the zucchini. So we got a zucchini. We're just going to cut both ends, right here and right there. Both ends are cut. Now, every potato peeler is meant for the same function. So a regular potato peeler that was used in the good old days, and most people shy away from it, but this potato peeler saves a lot of money. And what I mean by that is it peels the skin of a potato. The skin of a potato is very thin, correct? So you want to use the right potato peeler. If I use this handy dandy beautiful potato peeler, the potato, I will lose too much of the meat of the potato. So it will take the skin plus the potato itself. This will take just the skin. And in my world, I have to be solvent. I have to make money, right? So in restaurants, you see the cook using the wrong potato peeler. You go, you costing me money. So let's use the right potato peeler. Now for the zucchini, it says use a potato peeler. Now, since we are going to do strips so we can roll them, now we're going to use a thicker potato peeler, okay? Or the mandolin, correct? And we use it with the guard, without the guard. If you use it without the guard, use a safety glove, because you will cut yourself. That is a guarantee, okay? So, since I have the mandolin, never done it here, so it's the first time doing it with a potato peeler, or with a vegetable peeler. Okay, so we go flat surface, okay, and now we go. So. That's one. So you want it to be pliable, correct? So because we are going to.
So zucchini is considered a fruity vegetable because it's low calorie, really low carbs. So great way to start the dish.
All right. Oh, I'm enjoying this. I don't think I'm going to use the salamander. Why? Look at that. Let me turn it. Getting good at this, Megan. Look at this. Wow. I should be a chef. Ooh, wait, I'm a chef. There you go. I want to thank everybody for watching. This is all new to all of us, and we will want to try to make it as informative as possible. And let us know. Be honest. You know, too slow, too fast. 45 minutes watching you slice a zucchini is not cool. Stuff like that, okay? I know, Chef, you're having fun slicing that zucchini, but enough is enough. That'd be kind of cool. Then, let me use the mandolin. So the mandolin, we have the guard, correct? So the guard has this pointy grasp that grab the product, and then you just hold it. And then you just slice it, right? And then you can make it super thin. So this is thinner than the actual potato peeler. Then you have an adjustment that you can backtrack it or forward, and the blade goes up and down. So that would be this blade right here. So this is actually the blade that doesn't move. You can move it back for bigger items, or you can move it forward for smaller items that I'm doing, and then you adjust it back here. So it's very simple. And then you clockwise, you just shrink the thickness, and counterclockwise, you just widen the thickness. So let me widen a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Okay. One more without it. So if you hand, you have a safety glove, then you go slowly. The blade is very sharp. Okay? So if you try to do it fast, you will cut yourself. Okay? Don't do it. What is that commercial you go? Don't do it. Please don't do this at home without adult supervision. Okay? Oh, wait a second. We're all adults. All right. So that's a salamander. That's a potato peeler. That's my leftover. Okay. So let's assemble the zucchinis with the almond pate.
You want a little thickness to the zucchini, right?
Yeah.
So
You're going to bake it, or are you going to just pop it and eat it, right? Because the zucchini has no flavor; it's very neutral. So you're looking for that almond pate to be your flavor, your everything. The only thing you need is the zucchini is your garnish or your conductor, correct? So let me see. I got this right here. Let me roll them up here. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to use it with it. Okay. So I use a tablespoon as my measurement. Okay, and that's kind of worked out pretty well for the size of that. So then you see how I roll them. Okay, that's one. So the end sits in the bottom. Okay. This when the product sits. See how I can form it? It doesn't break, but it's soft enough where it holds together. And when you eat it, then it just pops in your mouth really nice. And you can make this as hot as you like with the chili powder, cayenne pepper. You can drizzle it with olive oil, basil, or just use marinara sauce and put them in the oven. Or, as I'm doing here, you just put it as an appetizer and serve it cold. And it's a very simple dish, small dish. It's your tapas, and very nutritious. And it does, it did fill me up pretty much. So let me try that very thin one. So this way, when you are home and one of them comes out too thin, don't throw them away. Just figure it out. Yep. There we go. Okay, I'll be done. I'll be done in a minute, guys. Our zucchini almond pate tapas with marinara sauce, Trader Joe's, organic, non-organic. Just put the marinara on the bottom and then bake it. How long? Until it's done. Just kidding. About 325 degrees for about 20 to 22 minutes. It works out really well. If you have any questions, just post it and then we'll be glad to answer. So let me cut it. This way you see the density and what it looks like when it's cooked versus when it's raw. Okay, so this is already cooked. be able to tell, which is nicely dense, correct? And when it's raw, like we have it here right now, it's just less color, okay? It works out pretty well. And then if you have leftover, just julienne it, like yeah. Throw them in a pan, olive oil, the rest of the garlic, rest of the chili, a little bit of salt. Actually, the olives, when you cook them, is delicious. Throw them in, then you have your side. With almond pate, zucchini roll with almond pate, okay? Marinara sauce, it just plays out the best. And the reason we use marinara sauce is because this is a plant base. I didn't want to use any cream or any butter or anything like that. So the only thing that we added just a little bit of fat with olive oil, but that's kind of acceptable in the scheme of things.
Fat, and that's very, very healthy fat.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, and it has 3 ingredients. Actually 4 if we're going to count the ice. So it has avocado, it has ripe banana. It calls for overripe bananas. The reason for the overripe bananas is because of the sugar content. So when the banana is overripe, the sugar content increases. And but whenever you need an overripe banana, you don't have it. When you don't need an overripe banana, you have it. So I have solved that problem with the monk fruit sugar. Monk fruit sugar is my go-to. So if you taste it, it's not sweet enough, just add a little teaspoon of the monk fruit sugar, blend it again, and then as you taste, you just add a little bit of calories, but that's about it, correct? All right.
Not much though. It's pretty insignificant, so
Cool.
it doesn't change it very much.
Cool. Okay, so are we going back to that avocado? How do you know the avocado is ripe again, or should we just skip it and go right through it?
I wonder how many people who were at that cooking demo or
How many of you were in that cooking demo? So I'm going to take out the cord. This is where it hangs from the tree. So if it tells me that it's nice and green, it's beautiful inside. This one is telling me no. Okay, so we'll check it in a minute. Let's see if I got lucky out of the 3. Then this one is saying yes, that is green. So first one not green, second one green. Let's see a third one. How does the third one will tell me? Third one is telling that it's perfect. So we have brown, perfect, and kind of in the middle. All right? I couldn't choose any better than this. All right. All right. Let's see how true that is. As you can tell, as magicians, you can tell I haven't tampered with the avocado at all. Okay. So let's see. So this is supposed to be the cleanest version. Should be perfect. Correct? Oh, did I cut all the way through? Yeah, I did. We have a winner. Right? That's perfection, correct?
Very good.
Very good. Okay. Let's go to this one is telling me that it's half and half. Maybe good, maybe not good. It has some dark spots around the cork. Pretty good. It has some strings. All right. It's okay. Can be used. Now this one says that it's bad. I'm bad. I'm dark. My pulp is not good anymore. Let's see how good that is. Well, now it's getting yellowish, but it's still pretty good. See? So even when I pick it wrong, it's right. So not much I can say about that. Right?
And could you use an avocado in here that is a little brown, or would that affect the taste?
No, if it is a little brown, it will not affect the taste. But if it is brown enough that one whole avocado.
Again, good source of monounsaturated fat.
Okay, then we have one ripe banana. So I was searching the ripest one will be this one, correct? So we'll see. All right, is that?
Chef,
Yes.
Danica wants to share that we love watching Chef online, but it doesn't compare to in person. Better than nothing, though.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and I do miss the classes.
Yes, we do miss having an audience. It is definitely different without people here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we miss everyone.
Yeah. And for those of you that think because the banana is have the brown skin and is kind of bruised a little bit, that the inside of the banana is bad, just take a second look. I just opened the worst banana I had, and prices, and so that's the whole banana right there. Then we have just a cup of almond milk. Now let's talk about almond milk for a second. So when I got introduced to almond milk and I decided to change my diet and use almond milk instead of milk, I went straight to the carton. And honestly, I always talk about it takes 6 weeks for your palate to get used to a new flavor. And it actually took me 6 weeks, okay? But I mustered through, now I love it. Now I was introduced to this Khalifa almond milk. It is delicious. It is just your heavy cream of almond milk. So if you taste it before and you were like, oh, I don't think so, this is the time. Just try it out. It costs a little bit more, but it will get you there. It will get you to that flavor, that palate, and we get you used to the almond milk, and then you save some money. You transfer to the regular almond milk, and it works out pretty good. So I will now add a cup.
So this recipe calls for 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk.
Absolutely.
Which is very low carb. So mainly our carbs are coming from the banana in the smoothie.
Correct. So if I had Khalif at the house, I would not use it here because I got all the flavors. Why? This is delicious, right? So I have all the flavors, so might as well, right? So this is a cup. Is this the first time I measure anything? I think so, correct? Okay. I'm missing the ice, correct? So how much ice it says I need to?
1 cup of ice.
1 cup of ice. That's about it. Just because, correct? Okay. A little bit noise, but bear with me. Well, that's a smoothie or guacamole. Which one? What do you think? All right. So the goal was to have it really nice and thick, and it came out perfect. So that recipe is pure perfection. Okay. And of course, I have to have my green straw. Cannot go without. It has to be a green straw. So that's our Moroccan avocado, banana, and almond milk smoothie. Okay. We're only doing 2 recipes because we believe that shorter time will work a lot better for those of you at home. I think an hour with Davis is a little too much. Don't you think, Megan? Megan only sees me once a few months, and I think an hour with me is plenty of time.
It's always fun with you.
Yeah. So, but we want to make sure that the classes mean something. Then you do the cottage cheese with it, and you can Google all the different types of recipe. But the almond pate for me, being a plant-based chef, it just works out so well. And I'm going to give you a little trick. I even did it with cucumbers. Water refreshing. So, but the cucumber, you have to be careful. You cannot. It has to be nice and firm. This way, the slicer will come out just like the zucchini. You roll it with the almond pate, just delicious too. So it's a cold, refreshing appetizer, or with the zucchini, a nice hot appetizer, or just raw zucchini raw.
Very good.
There you go.
Thank you for all those extra tips. Chef gave a lot more tips than what's written down today, so hopefully you've been able to tune in to get all his tips for today. And just one little note as a dietitian, I have to point out.
Dietitian, you see, I brought the.
There we go.
Okay, 1 cup.
1 cup of medication, or to know what we should have, and I just want to make sure that we're all with carbohydrates.
Okay.
It's always good to measure, see what things look like in your glasses and your dishes at home, so you know what you're getting. Good to add more and just count it as more carbs. You can do that as well too.
And I have an extra straw.
And an extra straw.
I have
for
an
that
extra
one
straw.
cup.
For the.
Very good.
There we go. So that is your actual serving size. Right. Thank
Use
you.
that measuring cup just to really make sure you're on track, because the
Absolutely.
food we eat does directly impact our blood sugars, and we want to be as exact as we can just to keep ourselves healthy.
And Winnie has a question. She said, how long and at what temperature do you bake the cannelloni recipe?
Okay, I'll repeat. So we have the question of how long, at what temperature do we bake the cannelloni, the zucchini?
So you bake it at 325-degree oven for 20 to 22 minutes. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Chef. You don't have any other
No other questions?
Any other questions?
You want to
Okay.
remind them about November?
Okay.
And also, may I add something real quick? If you feel that I'm going too fast with the recipes, I would love to know, because this is what I do. I'm a chef, so I add the ingredients and I forget that I have an audience or not an audience, or I have you're just fine. Just please let me know. I would like to know that.
Or also too, if you have suggestions for recipes, Chef and I work together to come up with these, so we're open to suggestions. We do have one more cooking demonstration for this year. It will be on November 17th at 5:30, and our theme is healthy holiday choices. But we are also starting to plan for next year, 2021. So we would love anything that you guys want to see, any ideas, or for tuning in and joining us today. We hope you've had fun with us as we've had fun with you.